Hello guys, so in this video I'll be going through the salaries of software developers so that you get an idea of how much you'll be making when you start working as a software developer, and also what to actually expect when you start growing as a software developer. So without wasting any time, let's get right into it. So in software development field, there are different levels. So there's an entry level, then you get a junior level, then you get to the mid or intermediate level, then you get to the senior level, which is at the top. So I'll just be going through the salaries, and the numbers I'm going to share with you guys actually come from developers.com and offerzen.com. So I'll start off with the front-end developers. So front-end developers at the entry level are actually making between 14,000 rand a month to 20,000 rand a month. So moving on to the junior level, they are making between 20,000 rand all the way up to 27,000 rand. Then moving on to the mid or intermediate level, they are making between 27,000 rand all the way up to 38,000 rand. Then with the senior position, you'll be expecting to get 38,000 rand all the way up to 59,000 rand. Then now I'm going to move on to the backend developers. At an entry level position, you should expect to get 27,000 rand, which is way higher than when you're working as a front-end developer, and that's because backend developers tend to get more than both the front-end developers and also the full stack developers. Although the full stack developers are doing both the front end and back end, but the backend developers are more specialized in the back end, so they do more things which are related to math sometimes, so they tend to get paid more by companies. Then at a junior position, when you're a backend developer, you should expect to get 35,000 rand. Then at an intermediate position or a mid-level position, you should expect to get 50,000 rand. Then for senior developers, they're getting between 70,000 rand all the way up to 90,000 rand. So as you can see, the backend developers are actually getting more than both the full stack and the front-end developers. And speaking of full stack developers, so the salaries of full stack developers at an entry level should expect to get 20,000 rand at an entry level position, then expect to get 30,000 rand at a junior position, then expect to get 40,000 rand at an intermediate or mid-level position. Then at a senior level, which is way higher than all those levels, you should expect to get 60,000 rand all the way up to 80,000 rand. So these salaries depend on what technologies you actually specialize in or you have knowledge in. So it all depends on that, and it all depends on what the company is willing to offer you. So this is going to depend from company to company. So if you'll be using Python as a backend developer, they tend to pay more for people who have experience in Python programming language, because Python is commonly used, and also you can also use it for machine learning and AI. So Python is more scientific, so they tend to pay people who have knowledge in Python more than the people who would have experience in JavaScript, right? So these stats are not 100% accurate. So if you are getting your first job and you have no experience, so if you are getting an entry level position, and as the stats say, if you are a front-end developer, you are expecting to get 40,000 rand, that might not be the case, because like I said, it depends by the company and also what tools you'll be using. So take me for example, at my first job I was earning 7,000 rand, so as you can see, it's way lower than the average numbers that I've mentioned for a full stack developer. So it all depends on the company, and the reason I actually took that job is because it was going to be a ticket to get my next job and to get more opportunities, right? It was a way to get some experience since I don't have a degree in computer science, right? So that's how I was able to get my foot in the door. So although I was earning that low amount, right now I'm earning way more than I really expected, and it's way more than the averages that I've mentioned, and it's just because the company valued me. That's why I'm earning more. If you want to know how much, or you want to find out how much I'm actually making, just click on this link or on this pop-up right here, then it will take you to that video where I actually explain how much I'm making. And these numbers I just mentioned, they just help you to be able to negotiate your salary better, so they don't lowball you. So if you mention something around the salaries that I've mentioned at the position that you're hiring for, then they'll really take you that serious, because they know that you did your research. If you can really take this into account when you actually negotiating your salary, they'll be able to meet your requirements. So that's gonna do it, guys. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever I release new content. And lastly, like this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. Bye.